This has turned into a disaster. Welcome back to Sawmill, everybody. My name is Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry. This is a stack of white oak 1x8s that has turned into a disaster. So I'm not sure what order the videos are going to come out. I hope the milling the massive white oak log is going to come out before this one. Matter of fact, I'm just going to make it that way. It is going to come out before this one. This one's, sorry, it's really windy out today, which is why I didn't shoot the video early on. This one hopefully is short, sweet, and simple, but we're going to go over a couple of things, and we're going to talk about why this sucks so bad and what's going on here at the sawmill. A little bit of a spoiler, I'm out of white oak. Okay, full disclosure, this is not white oak. Another full disclosure, this tree right here, which is a gorgeous log, tagged white oak from the tree service, is not a white oak. This is white oak. That's white oak. That is not white oak. We have actually all three oaks right here. Well, three oaks that we have here. This is white oak. This is a scarlet oak, or red oak, some people call it. And scarlet oak is a red oak. That is a black oak. I apologize for the wind noise, but let's just show all three. This right here is a white oak on my property. This one right here, sitting right next to it, is a black oak. That's a black oak. And if I come over here, oh, almost fell down. That is a scarlet oak. That is a black oak. White oak, black oak, white oak, black oak, black oak. What most people would call red oak, but it's a scarlet oak. That is a black oak. That is a black oak. And this pile right here of oak logs at my yard is mainly black oak. Now there is an old, you see the bark right here, this is a scarlet oak that came in tagged as a white oak. See if the tag's on the end. Yep, came in tagged as a white oak. This is a scarlet oak, or traditional red oak up here. I actually took some cuts off the end of it so you could see. That is a red oak, not a white oak. That is a black oak, a black oak, a black oak. This one I'm not sure. I actually think this might be an old rotten Norway maple. It's hard to tell with the bark. Over here, black oak, I think, black oak, and then a scarlet oak down in there. Two gorgeous logs in here. Scarlet oak. See if I can climb in here. This one's a little bit of a mystery log. I'm going to, so usually you can feel white oak and it feels very silky smooth. This one kind of has that feel to it. I think this is a black oak, but it's a mystery log. It's a hybrid. When I look at the end grain, I don't see the obvious, well, kind of, maybe I do. I was going to say, typically on a white oak, you have a big sap ring and then a chocolate center, almost like walnut. And it is walnut color in a traditional white oak. Now, that, whoop, sorry, that white oak right there is what we would call swamp white oak. And that white oak right there is more of a traditional white oak, but it's a juvenile. And the bark on those does get more coarse as they get bigger, but it doesn't really look like this. This almost looks like a black oak. See if I can see, as I see down the tree, I'm thinking this is a black oak. White oak. That is a white oak. Little dinky one, might do one 4x4, and I actually may mill it for a 4x4. It's kind of straight, but that is a little white oak. It's been around a while. It's got some spalting and some mushrooms coming out of it. That is a white oak. The moral of the story here is that if you want to build outside without using pressure treated lumber, you have basically three choices. There is white oak, like the stack of wood behind me here. You can use cedar, which I'll be honest with you, I really don't think cedar's that rot resistant. You can use black locust. Now, I just went through a job in a project cutting black locust 4x4s for Highlander Farm, and I used up most of my good logs. However, this customer needs 7-footers. And for 4x4s, I wouldn't cut a 7-footer. And I have a black locust 7-foot log that I think is going to fill this order. Right now, he asked for 30. Right now, I'm at 24, 5, 6, 7. I'm at 27 right now. The problem with that 27 is that not all these boards are good. They're not all perfect, and I'm not really sure what he's doing with them. So I would feel comfortable getting him at least 5 or 6 extra boards. And that's what we're going to try to do today. Now, I tried to cut every single flitch and everything that I had lying around to fill this order. And if you look here, I've got white oak and I've got white oak. This actually is a black oak. This one, I think, is a black oak as well. And there's a white oak underneath it. But none of these are good for what he needs. I pulled them all down. I can't make a board out of them that's going to work. I will give him these if I can fill this order. This, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping is the solution. Now, and again, I apologize for the wind noise. I have a couple other candidates that possibly could end up in good 1x8s. Locust is a weird log. Usually it's got big inclusions. It's not very round. It's kind of like cedar, and you have to be very, very careful. If it shows any rot on the end or anything like that, just don't even try to cut it into boards. It's just not going to work out. I'm hoping that I can get 1x8s out of this log, at least 8 of them. So I want an 8-inch cant. For this particular order, I'm cutting them on inch marks, so they're actually 7/8 thick by 8 inches wide. So if I can get an 8-inch cant, I can fill his order plus boards to make up for the boards in that stack that aren't any good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my mill unclamped down because it's so windy. We are running that same Junkie Sharp Turbo 7. Hopefully that works. Typically, Locust cuts pretty easy, so I think it will. Whoa, the camera almost fell over. And we're going to try to take this apart and get at least 8 out of this 24, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be 35. And I'd at least feel comfortable with him coming to pick it up and then say to him, if you need a couple extra boards, I'll find them for you. I've already got my tree guys out looking for white oak for me without having to give him cedar. I will give him cedar as a last resort, but I'm trying not to because he doesn't want to pay the price for cedar. As a last resort, I'll give him cedar for $3 a board foot, but it's not going to look like everything else. This will fill the order, I believe. That's what we're going to start cutting. So just to let you guys know, it is way too windy out to try to make this a good video. What hopefully you're going to take out of this is some white oak school and how we're going to take this log apart. This log has some challenges. It's tapers, it's kind of curved like this, and it really swoops up on the end right here. What I did debark it, which is going to help, but I'm hoping to get an 8-inch wide cant, maybe in this direction. So it's going to go vertical, something like 8 or 10 inches long, and get 8 to 10 boards out of it. I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. Hopefully, if it goes anything like the last couple days have gone, it's going to be a disaster. And if it is a disaster, I want you guys to see it so you can make fun of me. That's what I want. So we're going to start taking this. I want to do this as painlessly as I possibly can because everything else has been so painful. I want to take this about 13. Any of the slab cuts and everything that come off this are going to be firewood for the campwood bin. So let's take it at 13 and see what happens. See what God has in store for us. Now, it's not going to show up on camera, but I hate hearing people say how hard Black Locust cuts. This band's got a lot of time on it. I don't even feel the wood. I could actually let the wind blow that through the cut. So we are obviously, we're 3 inches wide here, so that's no good. We're at 13, we're going to come down to 12. I got to be careful with this log. I really do. In my area, because Black Locust is very coveted for people building flower boxes and stuff like that, I keep any flitch that's even reasonable. People buy them. So we're going to try to flip this thing over. We got to see how this thing's going to square out first. I'm going to do everything I can do to stay away from 8 inches. So if I could stay away from 10 and see how this is going to cant out, I think that's going to be the best course of action here. Oh, and I have to leave you over there. I apologize for that, but you're crooked into the bench right now so that you won't get blown over. All right, so we flipped it all the way over. Just didn't want to set the other way. I have to use, in this, because this log's only 7 feet long, I'm using one of my manual clamps and one of my hydraulic clamps. We're just going to have to see how this goes. It's just going to stink. Top cut here is going to be about 11. All right, so I can tell you that my 10-inch dream of staying away from 10 inches is not going to work in this dimension. This is going to have to come down to about 8. But I've got to be careful how I do it because I'm not big enough on the other side. So I am going to take it down inch at a time here. I'm going to come down to 10 and maybe stop short so I have a little room to clean it up later. So let's come to 10 and take a cut there. We are going to flip it on its side right now. I would like to see how big I can kind of clean this log up and, if anything, shave my wane off little by little. So we're going to flip it on its side. I don't think this log's going to work. I don't think this log's going to work. It's going to come down to like 12. It's going to come down more than that, but that's a start. That was a waste of a cut. It's just not even close. The only thing that could happen here is because the other side bumps up. Could I even see 8? I don't even see 8. Maybe after I get this side taken off, what's my other side look like? My other side's pretty big, so I think I'm going to flip it and I'm going to take an inch off this side. That would give me 9/8 if I could get the 8 in the vertical dimension. I don't know. We're going to see. All right, let's see where we are. I want to leave some room on the other side. It looks like this side was at 10. I would like to leave the other side to take it to 8. It's another good, solid, usable Black Locust board. Just not what he needs. So now we're going to flip it up. Am I 8 inches wide yet? I'm not. But I need an inch off the other side because it's not cleaned up all the way to the end. It's going to be really close. Let's flip it up and clean up the top. I'm going to take this side to 9 and I'm going to stop. Then we're going to pick out the last wane and try to get it to 9 by 9 and then to 8 by 8, and then we'll cut it out. Another decent Black Locust board. And now we're going to pick out the side with the worst wane and we're going to pick on that. So right now we are 9 inches wide by 9 inches high. These two, this side needs to come down, but the other side's worse, and this side's worse. So I think we want to flip it backwards and take that to 8. We're not cleaned up here though. It's 7 foot. It's going to leave them with barely, not even 7 foot boards. What could help right now, what might save this, it's just a teeny bit of wane on the bottom. What could save this, if I take this side to 8, that's only going to leave a teeny little bit of wane over here. And if I take this side to 8, that's going to get rid of that little swoop off. And I don't think it's that bad. So let's try it. So we're going to cut the top to 8 right now. That gets rid of most of this wane right here. And then I've got this little wane swoop off that doesn't allow me my 7 feet. So if I take this to 8 and then I take this to 8, then we should just be able to make sure that whatever checks are in it are horizontal, and we should be able to mill it out. All right, we're starting to make some progress. So there is still a little bit of wane on the other side, but it's just a teeny little bit. And I think if we flip this out, cut this side to 8, we get rid of this swoop off right here, and then I think we'll have a reasonable can. I don't think it's that bad. I didn't see that, a big hollow in the bottom there. So that gets us one, maybe a couple other ones. I can saw it off the top. I can flip it backwards and saw it till it's no good. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip it backwards and saw it till it's no good, and then we'll get a couple more boards. Well, let's come up at 8 and take them off and see what we got left. See if we got one more board out of it. So we got one that's usable here. We got another one that's usable here. We got a third one that's usable here. A fourth one that's usable here. We're still solid. I don't know how much that inclusion comes up, but I think that we got one more board in this. That gets us 24, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 31, 2, 3, plus anything that I have in flitches there. Guys, I think we might have done it. We got ourselves close enough to have him come get them. And with a caveat that if we tell him, hey, look, you know, when you do your project, if you find that something doesn't work, call us up, tell us I need another board. Band is cutting great. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have one more here, but I got to get that hydraulic stop down a little bit. We'll try and take one more and see what that one looks like. I think we're going to be close to that inclusion in the bottom. I know we're 3 inches high. We're going to flip it over so I can hold on to it. You can see what I got left. I have one more board in this. And we're going to get this like that. And then I can put my hydraulic stop all the way down and cut it at 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to end up with one board on the bottom. The rest of them are going to be eaten up by this hollow thing here. So this one here, as you can see, is a decent board. That gets me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. I got 27. That gets me to 32. Man, I'm getting really close. I'd be taking a big leap if I said only 2 of the boards in there were junk. It's going to be really close. I think that I'm done. I think if I give him this one, which on the top is perfectly fine, that means that 7 boards can be junk. If I give him those 2, and they're both pretty good, you can see that one's got some weight. This would be a perfect 1x6. Same thing with the other one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them to him just like this. And he either needs 6 or 8 4x4s. I'm not sure, but I got all those cut. And then just tell him, I'm giving you extra boards. If anything doesn't work, let me know and I'll find a replacement. And I'll give him a bunch of flitches. I think we're good. I feel comfortable with that. Stupid little video. I'm trying to get this one order out of my way. If I had to give you a guess at how many in there are no good, I know there's at least 2 that have big wane inclusions on them and are like this in them. And there are at least 2 that had a crack off the end that don't get to 7 feet. There's 27, 8, 9, 30. Theirs is 4. I think we might have it. I'll just throw them a bunch of extra wood with a promise that if something doesn't work, I'll fix it for them. So I'm kind of happy it worked out this way. This log actually yielded more than I thought it would. I'll give you a look at the wood. Whoa, it's really windy, guys. Sorry. You know, beautiful black locust. These are super rot resistant. These are all right around that 7-foot mark. I do have over, I don't know if you see, if you can look past the mill, got a really solid, weird shaped black locust sitting over there that's about 10 feet long that I could cut more out of. So I think this is the way to go. I think I'm just going to give them extra boards and tell them, do your project, and if you end up short, call me and I'll make it right. I think that's the only way to do it. I got to get this project out of my head. And we're going to move over or back over to, we're going to cut some 4x4s first because I don't know when Highlander Farm's going to come to get their 4x4s and I got to steal some for this other order. So I want to cut one more log from out back, a black oak in 4x4 to have extras over here. And I think that's good. So as always, guys, I always appreciate the watch. Like, share, subscribe. If you learned something, if you didn't learn anything, then don't. If I had to surmise, what did I learn from this? Don't cut junky logs. It stinks, but we're trying to maximize everything that was headed for the landfill. That's kind of what I feel is my responsibility. So when I get something that's marginal, if I can get it to work, if I can think my way through it and get it to work, and I save something from the landfill that ends up in a chicken coop or an outdoor shower or a shed or whatever, I feel like I've done my job. So I think we're pretty close on this one. I think this one might work now. We got way more yield out of that than I thought we were gonna. And that saves that log. That log would become firewood. You know, nothing goes to waste, but that log would have become firewood. And I do have a couple other candidates that are marginal. You know, so if I had to get 1 or 2 more boards, that's no problem. It's 10 boards that's a problem right now in a real rot-resistant wood without giving them cedar. If you're looking for something from Norwood, please go to the description, click on my affiliate link. It takes you right to Norwood's site. If you buy it through there, then it just tells them that you watch my video. I don't get any money out of it or anything like that. And for now, on this Easter weekend, happy Easter. Pirate Solutions out.